right, so this is, well, yeah,
All
four.
right, Hodgson, you're right. He died in 1918.
All right.
Died in World War One by the looks of things. Okay, his writing period, House on the Borderland was 1908, so just a little bit before Lovecraft started really coming on the scene. About 10 years older than Lovecraft, 12 years older or something.
All right. So this is 4 issues of Corbin doing Lovecraft. They're gone. The scar from recognition. Every now and again, we get somebody adapting a Lovecraft piece we haven't seen before.
These were based, a few of these were based on poems that, are just a short
Yeah.
poem.
Yeah. It's getting increasingly rare. But now and again, we get a new Lovecraft piece.
Yeah, so there's a poem.
Right. Eh. Poetry, another unpopular art form, like jazz and comics.
Okay, a memory. Oh, well, looking a bit Genghis Khan. We have George Gonzalez on at the existentialist today.
Okay.
How capitalism promotes hate.
You were really interested in talking about Kierkegaard in
Yeah. I think he had some interesting angles there. I think is pointing out the dilemma in sort of personal growth, which he reflected himself. He was hesitant to take on the normal responsibilities of life. He wanted to remain himself. I think he wanted to remain a bit of a kid. I think he recognised that in himself. So, in part, that's why he wrote what he did. So, what did he say? He started off at the uh, aesthetic level, where you live very much devoted to what you feel, which is the impulse of a child. Then you rise to the ethical level, where you have to interact with other people. Uh, and that involves responsibility. And then beyond that, the religious level, which is I don't know, some sort of level where you start to profess something beyond the lower levels. Now, the interesting thing about Kierkegaard, of course, in his last year, he went a bit mad and started raving against the state church in Denmark, which earned the public gave the public a great deal of amusement, and it shows towards the end Kierkegaard was getting a bit cracked, I think, because he was indulging in a pointless thing. It's a bit like uh, Albert Ellis, yeah, when he said, "Beware of saying should and say you would like things to be different." Rather, so I think at the end, Kierkegaard was saying to the church, "You should be like this," rather than saying it'd be really nice if you were more like the Christians at the beginning of the different sort of Christians he imagined. But yeah, I think he slipped up on that one. Uh, I recognise it in myself, of course, that really, yeah, I was following that sort of aesthetic thing. I was very much involved in what pleases me. That's what a kid does, uh, and you can keep that up and not really be a true adult, I suppose. You can ignore the ethics and responsibilities of normal life, and I didn't really realize that. And I think when you're in that state, you tend to look for somebody else to come along and be the parent. And I think the big mistake is to think it's purely you. It's in everybody to some degree, but some people just sort of progress. And other people stay strongly with the aesthetic and remain the child for most of their life and would rather defer the responsibilities to somebody else.
Hmm.
And it's a big element, I think, in our culture now. Uh, this is it. You sort of get a lot of younger people looking for the significant other, the guru, the parent. And of course, other people can be of significance. That's quite true. You can meet people who are of significance to you, but they're trying to meet a sort of an absolute significance. They're trying to return to the childhood phase. And I think partly that's what Kierkegaard observed, or he had very good advice from somebody we don't know about.
Yeah. You realize all you're really doing is just basically describing Duloi.
Yes, yes, the servile class remain children.
Right. That's,
Uh, well, if you're a leader in ancient times and you talk to other leaders, you talked about the children, the common people. The common people would rather concentrate on their most immediate pleasings and wouldn't be interested in the larger things. Well, of course, you've got the mercantile, the Benaunsoi sort of class in between who do have to indulge in a degree of discipline. If you're going to be successful in business, you have to learn a lot of stuff. Your business might fail. You have to find the courage to start up a business again to be successful. And that's more than just the plain Juloy class can do. So, there's a lot of intellectual achievement and stuff like that in the Bonanza sort of class, but they're not, in the absolute sense, they're not suited to the leadership. Leadership giving a society direction involves a bit more. So the Bonanza rises above their desire for immediate satisfaction to follow a plan and sort of discipline themselves in the plan, but uh, ultimately their great interest is themselves. So the Aristos is somebody who gives society direction. So we go from uh, the Banaisoi who have got a certain sense of responsibility and they have a certain sort of ethics. I suppose to succeed in business, you need a certain sort of sense of responsibility and ethics. But that's not enough to lead a society. It's not enough to give society a direction, and that becomes from the at the religious level or the aristocratic level. It's the aristocrats who must be tested in life in the much more extreme fashion. Uh, The Banausoi will ever remain, let's say, the townsman. The Aristos has to be tested on his ability of self-overcoming. Well, does that sound good, Dave? It's coming from the extreme amateur.
It takes a while before one gets conversant with Smith's basic map work, but once you do, I think you realize it's really quite a quite a pretty good model. It does
Well,
it
in the sense the July have to be who they are, or they couldn't do what they do.
as Rick said, the Banasoi are pursuing excellence in their own weird way.
Okay, so how many? So we had Richard Corbin. How many of there were three comics in this set, weren't they? Were they all Corbin?
We could do Den if you want.
Oh yeah, may as well. Always try something different.
The whole what this one segment, the first segment in heavy metal was based on.
Well, Lovecraft, you have the kid that never grew up. There's a sterling example. Of course, he wouldn't have had time for whatever he was doing unless he was that. Well, I have to test that mic, see if I can find something to test the mic on to see if it's working. Uh, yeah, I don't know if I could plug it in the laptop. The laptop can certainly take a headset. I could try testing it on the laptop if it takes a signal. So how long since you've looked at this one, David? Did you look at it last week?
This Lovecraft collection that we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've looked at it. You get a variety of opinions about Richard Corbin.
Oh, really? I imagine there's some people that don't like him.
Yeah, a variety of opinions.
Okay. Getting a bit modernistic there.
Yeah.
This is also based on a poem. And another one based on a poem.
Yeah. Well, I'm certainly not going to object if someone wants to do some of the more obscure, lesser known Lovecraft pieces.
So Corbyn would have been doing the writing for this as well, since the poem was pretty short.
That's the
No, it's quite an interesting one. The white tapes, some aging degenerate family with a bit of ape in their ancestry. Okay, Arthur, right, adapted by Richard Corbin, right, okay.
There's a time when cover artists didn't get credited. Now, yeah, it's a very important credit now. Cover artist.
It's a nice little illustration there. What do you think?
There's nice aspects to Corbin's artwork, sure. Hmm.
Born in Missouri, doesn't say where he died. Died on December 2020. Personal life, death. Oh, right, following heart surgery. Okay, he was 80 years old.
Hmm.
Now let's see. So everything in this series was this week was Corbin, was it?
Haunt of Horror was Corbin, that's for sure. We can continue on if we're running out of time.
The Well. So okay. So this is probably another Corbin adaptation.
think it was just 3 issues. Okay.
Oh, as I said in part of it, well, there was no shortage of stories in the 19th century about people running around looking for lost tombs.
Yeah. Five.
Okay, yep, the Nameless City. Yes, we've seen that one a few times.
Right.
At least a couple of times before.
Amazingly, I forgot. First of the month, New Sandman, which you're probably not reading. Seemed to work when we did Watchmen. I did one chapter a month, and then when we got to the end, we did all of it at once. Easier read than trying to read 470 pages in 1 month, in 1 week.
400 pages, did you say?
Watchmen. I said
Just
one
trying to
chapter.
recollect Watchmen now. Was that really 400 pages long? Trying to remember it now.
Yeah.
Okay, the festival. We've seen this one before.
Yeah.
Once before, quite recently, actually. This is, yeah, yeah. This sort of the illustrations in this are a bit better than the one I saw before.
Uh, Esteban Morato, I believe, but I don't think we've seen Esteban Morato before.
Esteban Murato.
Uh,
Oh, okay. This last one is Esteban Murado, is it? Okay, so this is his artwork. Yeah, it's a bit different. Let's see. So this old guy is pictured as a sort of a rotting corpse under the mask. His true face gets revealed.
hmm. Hmm.
Okay, yep, mask comes off.
Hmm.
So he seems to have been something who's been sort of alive for a few hundred years. Looks like Lovecraft's works are filled with a sense of decline.
Right. Mhm.
Well, this is the classic Cthulhu story.
Well, yeah. I find it interesting to see the different variations and different takes on the stories, like hearing different singers sing the same song. A song gets covered by, 50 different singers or bands. I think that's interesting. What different cartoonists are going to emphasize and what they're going to, how they frame things and how they portray it, how they present the same basic story. We've seen the story before, but it's interesting to see a different presentation of it, different take on it.
Yeah, okay, I'll be going to check out what I can do about that microphone. Thanks
Yeah.
a lot, Dave.
Okay.
Catcher in Rick's group, I suppose. Won't
Well,
won't be there for the seventh seal tomorrow. Would have liked to have been, but got something else I have to go and do.
okay.
See you,
Okay.
Dave.
Sure.